Thank you very much, Huey. Thanks so much. Do you know what? We're going to hear something tonight that is very, very interesting. Games people play. Well, I know people play games. I know they do that, but listen to these. Solitary, Wordle, Luminosity, Bridge, Minecraft, Call to Duty. Gosh, I don't know. These all sound like very exciting things. I've never played any of them, so this is going to be very interesting. But they're used to pass the time at a doctor's office. Well, that's what Bill Crowe may do, but I tell you what, I just get nervous. And how could I play a game at a doctor's office, for heaven's sake? Anyway, this is what you're supposed to do. And Bill has got all kinds of credentials behind his name. As you know, the most important credential is that he is a professor at STUG, and we are very proud of him for that. But before that, he'd gotten his Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics education from Pennsylvania, and it's the University of California in Pennsylvania. He's never been able to explain that to me, but apparently that's what it's called. He worked for IBM for 34 years as a programmer, systems analysis and manager, and he also has IBM certified coursework in all kinds of places. George Washington University, Dartmouth, Dale Carnegie. This man's gotten around. And then he decided that it was time to teach in Vermont, where he lived. So he taught there for several years in colleges related to all kinds of courses, including computers. And then we got him to Sarasota, and Bill has been teaching down here for ACE for a long time. But ACE is only sort of there. We are the most important thing that Bill teaches too, and we're very delighted to have Bill as our professor of everything. He teaches us in Intro to Computers, Windows, Excel, Word, and various iPhone, iPad courses. You heard about some of those tonight because he's got an ongoing series right now, all through the month of August, and I saw one that was in September. So he's still doing it every Saturday morning. You really don't want to miss any of Bill's classes because they are so good. And we are just delighted to have him here with us tonight. So it is my great pleasure to introduce Bill Crowe, our very own Bill Crowe, to give us our Games People Play presentation tonight. Bill?
With the advent of all these smartphones and tablets, actually with the advent of computers many years ago, people started to develop games that people could play on these various devices. That particular industry has just exploded. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry right now. And we can talk more about that a little later. But here we're talking not just about, Full Metal Jacket or any of the more sophisticated or bloodthirsty games. We're talking about everything from simple solitaire up through that kind of a game that can be played on our computers, our iPhones, our iPads. It can be played on your TV with a special box, etc. So I thought it'd be a good idea just to round all those up and give everybody a perspective. And certainly there's some games there you might want to try. There are many different genres of them, and we'll see if we can, kind of focus on them as we go. So I'll talk about the computer game industry, right? The types of games that are available. There are board games and card games, mind games. What's that? Simple actions game. I'm not sure what the C is there, right? Children's game. That's where the C goes. Puzzle games, progressive games. Those are things that kind of build through time. And then there's a whole genre of video games, right? And I want to close it with something called the Apple Vision Pro. And that's the newest Apple product out there. And I'd like to show you some of its characteristics, if you will. Okay. Computer games are programs that enable a player to interact with a virtual game environment for entertainment and fun. They're also for learning. There are many types of computer games available, ranging from traditional card games to more advanced video games such as role-playing games and adventure games. Although computer games mainly provide entertainment and fun, it also improves your eye-hand coordination, problem-solving skills. Each game has its own strategy, action, and fantasy that make each game unique and interesting. Generally, we can classify games into the following types: card games, board games, puzzle games, maze games, fighting games, action games, adventure games, role-playing games, strategy, sports, and simulation. I don't have an example of it, but I saw a sports game out there recently, and you would swear you're looking at a football game real time or a basketball game in real action, right? However, the classification is fuzzy, is a fuzzy concept, as many games are hybrids that fall into more than one of the classes I just mentioned. For example, the game Doom can be classified either as a maze game where the person has to find their way through a maze, or an action game where he's challenged by all kinds of competitors. While Monopoly can be classified as a board game, it can also be called a strategy game. So we're going to talk about some of these: card games, board games, puzzles, maze games, fighting games, action games, adventure games, role-playing games. Goodness sakes, Bill, you have a lot of games there. All right. So let's look at card games. They are computerized versions of traditional card games, or games in which that are essentially like the card games in that they are primarily card-based, such as solitaire. Examples of card games could be blackjack, bridge, casino, solitaire, and video poker. Some of these can be played solitaire solely, and some involve other competitors, like bridge. You can actually set up a bridge match with other people. They are adaptations of classic board games. Examples: chess, checkers, backgammon, Scrabble, and Monopoly. Puzzle games aim to figure out a solution. Now, this isn't jigsaw puzzle. This is more of a how do I, which often involves solving enigmas, navigation, learn how to use different tools, and manipulating or recognizing, reconfiguring of objects. Mastermind and Tetris are examples of puzzle games. Hopefully some of you have tried Tetris, for example. Maze games require a successful navigation of a maze. The earliest maze game was Pac-Man, where you try to run your Pac-Man around while you were being chased. And there's a first-person perspective game, such as Doom, much more sophisticated, much more elaborate in terms of its video graphics. Fighting games involve characters who fight, usually hand-to-hand, in one-on-one combat situations. The fighters are usually represented as humans or animated characters. Those kind of games include examples of Street Fighter, Avengers, and Body Slam. Action games involve human player shoots at series of opponents and objects. Now, say the human is shooting at different things as they come along. Traditional ones are Space Invaders and Asteroids. The recent popular games are Doom, Quake, Descent, Half-Life, Unreal, that involve a human player in control of a character in a virtual environment to save the world, of course, from the forces of evil by using deadly force. And you're saying, well, how do they control it? They control it with either a built controller or by using the computer's keyboard. Adventure games are different from action games. They emphasize more of a story, a plot, and a puzzle solving rather than simply catching, shooting, capturing, or escaping. The human player must solve puzzles while adventuring. They must find pieces. They must put together logical parts. Characters are usually able to carry objects such as weapons, keys, tools. And setting of these games often invoke a particular historical line, or a place, such as Middle Ages, or thematically related to content-based types, such as science fiction, fantasy, espionage. Examples of adventure games are Adventure, Zork, Haunted House, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Superman. Role-playing games, otherwise known as RPG. In role-playing games, the player can take a different types of characters. The character's description may include specific items or skills such as species, race, gender, occupation, and may also include various abilities such as strength and dexterity. In the virtual game world, the player goes on quests, fights monsters, improves the capability of the character as they gather up weapons, for example, and their strength grows and they get magic potions. Example games include Diablo, Dungeons and Dragons, Ultima. Many role-playing games are also networked. That means you can get friends and relatives to play with you that allow more than one player to play and interact in the same game world over the network, such as the internet or LAN network. EverQuest, Ultima Online are network role-playing games. You can have strategy games emphasize the use of strategy as opposed to fast action. Now, at least I've gotten older, I prefer these kind of games over the fast action ones, right? Traditional strategic games are chess, Monopoly, Othello. In recent popular strategy games, such as Age of Empire, Warcraft, and Close Combat, the player can control many combat units to do battle against one or more opponents. In these games, the player needs to resolve the problem or resource allocation and organization of defenses and attacks. You're like a general on the field. Of course, there are sports games, right? Or adaptations of existing real-world sports or variations thereof, right? The popular sports games could include, or do include, American football, baseball, boxing, fishing, soccer, tennis. And you're going to ask me, I know, how do you simulate fishing? You have to get the game. Volleyball and golf. Simulation. There are two types of simulation games: management simulation and training simulation. Management simulation games refer to those games in which players must manage the use of limited resources. They don't have infinite weapons, bullets, magic potions to build and expand the same kind of community, installation, or empire. Examples of those simulation kind of games are Railroad Tycoon and Heyday. I think I can show you an example of Heyday. The plan here is I'm giving you a broad overview, And then we're going to show you some examples of these games. Let's take a look at some of the games. We'll take a look at some of the card games and puzzle games, mind training games, children's games, find it puzzle games, progressive games. And what progressive means in this case is you're trying to build something. You're trying to build a farm, you're trying to build a city, and all the resources and rules that go into doing that. You don't have unlimited resource. You have to figure out where you get the money or the seeds to build your farm, etc. So we've got chess. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Okay, and I'll go to some of my games. And we've got chess, right? And I don't think I paid for this one, so I'm going to have to go through.
How old is your brain? Playing wordscapes just 10 minutes a day sharpens your mind. And as you get older, it's important to keep your brain healthy. A few rounds of this game allows your mind to focus while solving puzzles in beautiful and relaxing environments. Can you find the right words? It's time to challenge your brain. Download Wordscapes now and play for free. But please, don't upset Granny.
Did you hear that, everybody? Is
Yes.
anybody out there? Can you just respond?
Yep, we
Yeah.
heard you.
Yes.
Okay.
Heard it.
So I'm going to play one-player chess. Difficulty will make it very simple, and I'll start the game. Okay. I'm going to assume I have the first move, so I'm going to move the pawn here. Hopefully I can do it. If you need a reliable... Okay. Get the idea? There's a game called Solitaire. We bring that back. So we have Solitaire. And I've started a Solitaire game here. And if I tip the code over, there's a 9. It should go on a 10. So I'll just move it over and put it on the 10. Flip the card over. 7 goes on the 8. Anybody see any other moves there? I'll start the deck over again. And you see the 4 down there, it goes on the 3, so I just move it up to the 3, etc. Solitaire. There's a game that they call Mahjong. It's not the traditional Mahjong game that you play. Let me tap it. Right? And I'm going to say we'll go the simple way here, and we'll just take this. Ooh, and it wants me to see. I didn't pay for this one, so this is the price you pay for not paying for it. And I have no idea how this one's played, right? But I'm going to see if I can get by it. And we're going to come on. There it is. There's the Mahjong game. And what this entails is finding pieces on the outer rim or the edge that are not blocked by any other piece. Like this 3 here and this 2 here and this 3 here. So if I tap that 3 and that 3, those disappear. So you're looking for mates that are not locked in. And do I see another one there easily? Yeah, the 7 up here and this 7. All right, and the objective is to get rid of all the Mahjong pieces. Believe it or not, they have a pinball game. There's the pinball game. And I think I can see, there we go. And I pull back the pin and there we go. That wasn't fair. I just tapped the screen. I moved the screen left to right. I'm doing it again. I'm not going to hit it again. Right? And that's pretty realistic. They have one called Pool. And I hope this works. Ooh, that was snooker. I don't want to play snooker. You'll notice there I can play with the computer, so I'm going to do that. One rack and start the game. And because I didn't purchase this game, I've got to put up with the commercial. Those of you who had a misspent youth can probably play that one pretty well. We have an actual jigsaw puzzle. A lot of people get into this one. And if I play, that's what the puzzle looks like, and I have to move the pieces into place. And you can set up the number of pieces you would like. They kind of fall into place if you put them in the right place. I bet that one goes up here. This one goes down here someplace. All right. Daily crossword puzzle. Any crossword, I'll just take that one. And again, if you get the free version, you have to put up with this every once in a while. And I don't want to play and I don't want to do any of that. So how do I get out of here? Is it going to force me? Problem is I don't see an X on the page in order to get out of it. Needless to say, there are many crossword puzzle programs. And once you get into them, you'll be able to get a crossword puzzle. Here's one that I play quite frequently. Okay. It's called 4 Picks 1 Word. And what you do is you say, whoa, there, I got my crossword puzzle. Beauty and the Beast. I bet that's B-A-S-T, for example. We switch back to 4 Picks 1 Word here. And we'll go back to games. 4 Picks 1 Word. Oh, what are you doing to me? So it's looking at those 4 pictures and saying, what's common between those? And that's a fan. Oh man, they really, if you don't pay for this one, they really make it hard to do it. Sorry, I can't demo that one very well. Suffice it to say, it comes up with 4 pictures, and you have to decide a word that satisfies what a characteristic of each picture. There's bird in a cage. This is one of those they show you a bird in a cage. You have to figure out how to open the door. You can turn the cage and tap on the various objects that are there. I need a bullseye, but I'm going to need it somewhere. So I'll pick that up, and that goes into my little tool case. Keep turning. What's this? Oh, look at this. And I'll put this in there. Now it wants me to show some letters. Getting the idea? It's a puzzle that you have to solve. Ooh, what's on the door there? O-R-A-D. I bet if we go O-R-A, is that an O-R-A-D-P or just an O-R-A-D? Let's go back. O-R-D-E. Sorry about that. And then I'll bet we can use that little object here. Got ourselves a key. So we'll go back to the door, touch the lock, get the key. There are hundreds of games like that. Get the idea? So we just went through an example of a bunch of these games. They're board, card games, and puzzles. There's also a game called Words with Friends, where you have to develop a word and you can use, and a lot of people got into that when it first came out, because they could play it with their grandkids, for example. They could play it with their grandkids and develop a good relationship there. There are mind and adult games here. There's one called Brain Test, one called Luminosity, Elevate, Impulse. There's a website, and this was a good one you should probably all write down. It's GFC Learn. It's a website all of us can go to. Just type in GFC space learn, and it'll take you to the website, or it'll take you to Google search and you'll see the website. And it's a free computer education where you can get all kinds of education for everything from iPhone, iPad to Windows. I haven't seen where they had any for Apple yet, but I haven't been on it in the last few weeks. So there may be something there for Apple users as well. And they start from the beginners and they go to the more advanced learners. There's MindPad, there's Twino, Sudoku. If you play it in the newspaper every day, guess what? They have it here. Let me show you some examples of those kind of games. And let me bring up that screen again. Okay. And here's Brain Test. This was a Mensa test, right? And let me just see how good you guys are. And go ahead and turn on your microphones. And let's hear it from you on what this first answer is. With a pair of standard dice, 1 to 6, what are the chances of scoring at least 10 with one throw of both dice? And everybody's sitting there and saying, I'm supposed to figure that out in my head. Anybody volunteer an answer for that one? Come on. Come on. Leah, what would be a possible answer there?
I have no idea.
Just make a guess. Go ahead.
The pair of standard dice, chances of scoring.
Let's do it 1 in 6.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, that's what you wanted me to do.
Superficial means the opposite of.
Profound.
Profound, yeah.
Extreme, radical, extensive, or profound.
Profound.
You.
Someone else said it.
All right. Annoy means the opposite of.
Could be amuse or oblige or please.
I know which one.
Please.
Come on. Your mics are all on. You can talk.
Not satisfy.
Amuse.
Please.
Amuse. Okay,
amuse.
let's take amuse, see what happens. And now we get into more complex. The number should be replaced. What number should replace the question mark in this diagram?
Where's the question mark?
Here's the question.
Oh, there.
Question mark's right here.
Oh, yeah.
No clue.
Take you a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
So none of us are Mensa material. Is that what we're saying?
5. Maybe 2.
You say it's 5. Okay, we'll put 5 in there. Sickness in medicine. Sickness is to medicine as hunger is to.
Sickness is to medicine.
Satisfy.
Hunger is to
Food.
food.
Satisfy.
I would
Okay,
pick food
food.
too. All right. Let's finish.
We did that very well.
We got 4 of them right. Wow. It was 1 in 6. That was a wild guess on my part. Let's go to the second one. Profound. Third one. Please.
Muse.
4th one. It was 5. Can anybody tell me what the logic was there?
You had to add up the numbers 9 and 3 and 3 and 4, and then get the same answer on the other side.
Okay. Super. Uh-oh. We got one among us and food. Okay, everybody? That's what the Mensa one is all about. You can get a new test, you can get results. At a point, you'll probably have to pay for something. Luminosity, I haven't played this one myself, but many people do. Oh, it's not going to even come up for me. Hold on. No, it's not going to even come up for me. Has anybody
It's
out there played Luminosity?
I love luminosity, but it's expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
daily
think it's 80, it's like $81 to join it.
No
for a
kidding.
year or for how long?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't remember. Because
Okay.
when I first started playing it, it was like $29 or something. And then when I went to re-up, they wanted 81.
Wow.
Well, you said, nah, it's
Nah,
not
no.
worth that.
Yeah, there's too many games out there.
Yep. Elevate, right? Okay, challenge your mind. Right, and let's see, play 40 plus brain games to improve your vocabulary, communications, memory skills, and more. Right, track your progress. See the benefits. I'm getting smarter. First, tell us all about, and it's going to take me through a bunch of things. They're going to want to know my age and right. Do I articulate my thoughts correctly or clearly? Oh boy, I'm not going to go here. I guess I could skip that, right? And I'll skip this and we'll get started, right? She went to the store or to the store. Whose book is this? Right?
What?
Match the word with the image.
Protect, I guess.
And I can't even see it much.
Match the word with the image.
Nadir at Pinnacle.
That's a pinnacle, right?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Match the word with the image. Ooh,
I'd
What
does it
say
say?
melancholy.
Melancholy.
I'd say
Yeah, melancholy.
melancholy. Okay, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Match
Or
the
I'm
word with
clicking
the
it for
image.
some reason.
That's the word in the image.
Which one is this one?
No.
Suspicious.
There's a clown.
That's your
I
Yeah,
answer the bottom. I don't know.
Perspicuous.
perspicuous. We'll
Perspicuous.
just do that. Which word doesn't fit? And consider it selfish or generous.
And consider itself generous.
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 You got it. So that's the idea of that one. And it takes you through word exercises like
You can
that.
see the stuff.
And it does other
Some of it's hard to see.
number exercises, etc. A fun one that you can try is Twinno. Okay, and this one is your left and your right brain. Right, and what it asks you to do is tell you something about colors, which is I think your left brain activity, and tell you something about numbers, which is your right brain activity. And it's really pretty good the faster you get at it. It says the left puzzle is numbers and the right puzzle is colors. So if I play, it says 2 + 5 is 7, red and blue is purple, right? And then I would do 6 + 1 is 7, right? Blue and yellow is green, 4 by, you see what you're doing? So I'm tapping down here the results of each. And you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
That doesn't make any
I
sense.
don't get that one at all.
No, me neither. You gotta be quick.
You gotta be quick. And it goes faster as you go.
No, lovely.
But it's a good exercise, right? This is one that's not necessarily brain stimulating, but TED. If you ever gone to TED, TED is a series of lectures. I just tapped it and it doesn't seem to be taken off anywhere. It's a series of lectures on all kinds of different subjects. And they have hundreds of them. And it's really, I think, educational to listen to many. I was watching one on drones and the advances that have been made on drones. Quite sophisticated. They had a drone that was able to balance a broom on a drone and fly around with the broom balanced on top of the drone, for example. And it got more sophisticated, but
Can I do housework?
it's fun. It's a fun exercise to go look at, and they keep adding more and more lectures to it, all kinds of different subjects. Brain test. Okay. In the literature I was going through. Okay.
Mm.
Children's games. I don't have those.
That's the ones we need.
Now under educational here, there are a bunch of children's games out there. let's start with this one called Starfall ABC.
Mm.
And it's really for younger children.
Starfall.com, where children have fun learning.
So I'm going to pick a letter here. Let's say J.
J. J.
And then what my grandson figured out pretty quickly is you see the stars going on in the little number here?
No.
So it
only-
said J and J to him. And then he
J.
typed that. And then it makes the J sound. You see the stars going there by the letter J?
J. Jet.
Then he figured out, oh, I can
J.
put stars.
J.
Jump.
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 Get the idea?
J.
This is easy.
Well, it's not for 45-year-olds, but okay.
Send me
J-
the 399.
Jelly beans.
It's a fun way for the kids,
Goodbye.
to learn. And there's a bunch of other ones there on the left-hand right-hand column for different things. It's a fun way for the kids to learn the alphabet. And they get pretty good at it and they do enjoy it. Now that's 2, 3, 4 years old.
Mhm.
There's Zipper, right? There's the first kind of simulation was Toka Train.
Toca boca.
I gotta do a song.
And it's the first where you're controlling something with your device. I'm going to hit the arrow there. And I'm able to control the train by the lever over here. And I can make it go and stop. And they learn pretty quick you can stop at various places. There's nothing happening there. But the idea here is you want to pick up cargo and
Pretty graphics.
passengers, depending on where you're going. Oh, I'm going to pick up a passenger. And I would say I tap on that person and they get on the train. Then I tap. Okay? Just a fun for the kids to learn. Okay? There is a thing called Khan Academy. It is a website you can go to. It was started by a guy named Khan, and his grandchildren, he was an uncle, and his nephews asked him, they were having trouble with math. And they asked him to put something, didn't live close to each other. So he put a couple of exercises, little 5-minute tutorials on the internet, and had them go watch them. And this became a habit. They would go to school, they get a assignment from the teacher, they come home and ask their uncle, what do you mean? And he would develop a little exercise and go out and put it on the internet for them to go look at. There, he put so many of them out there that some of the teachers around the country started using it. They changed the philosophy of the classroom. Would say your assignment is to go to Khan Academy and view this particular idea or process or function. And they'd go looking at it, and then they'd come to class and they'd do their homework in class. The teacher would walk around to each student to see how they did. A little different approach than the teacher explains the concept and they go home and do the homework. And one of the teachers that Bill Gates' students' children were going to was assigned one of these. Bill saw it, and he invited Khan to his house, sent the jet and had him pick it up. And he started his company. He started Khan Academy with $1 million from Bill Gates.
I've heard
And
that before, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the story.
Nice
Right.
story.
So you'd select the image, you sign in, and then I would show you one, but there's Khan Academy for kids, and they go clear up to university classes now.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's a chalkboard kind of thing. He draws something on a chalkboard, 1 + 3. And he says it's peanuts, and he lines up peanuts. It's a very simple concept, and he does very well with it. Okay.
Mhm. Gorgeous.
There's one, let me see what I've got. I wanted to show you this one, Universal Zoom. This is a really cool application. Okay, it starts out, it says, they're trying to show you the size of things. There's the size of a cheetah versus the size of an emperor penguin versus the size of a woman. And if we start scrolling to the right, you get the size of an ostrich versus a man, a walrus, a car, an elephant. And you're seeing a jumbo 380 and showing up in the background. There's a blue whale. There's the size of a our first spaceships, right? Versus the Tower of Pisa. Falcon Heavy, that's the Musk rocket, versus a Sequoia, Statue of Liberty. Things kept getting bigger. Right? We have Angel Falls there in the background versus the Birch the Birch Tower in, where is that one? It's in, it's the one Tom Cruise jumped off of in the previous Mission Impossible film, Dubai, right? Gigantic factory, Nevada, world's biggest building per footprint. And then we go to comets, and it keeps going. Neptune, Saturn, the Sun. Puts everything into perspective. The Milky Way. And you can keep going. I'm going to go the other way. We start going down to hummingbird, embryo, a bee, an ant, a flea, blood cell, an E. coli bacteria, coronavirus, DNA, and it keeps going. Water molecule, H2O. Nucleus of uranium, neutron, and it has the measurements of each below it. Get the idea? Any other ones I wanted to? Oh, there's one called Lightbot Hour. It's a logic program that has you move this little robot, right? And you have to move it left, right. You can have it jump up to a little platform. So if I start with basics and I go to level 1, it takes 3 commands to move it. Right? So welcome to Lightbot, and I have to tap what I want to do. And the commands are down here. So I tap that. That moves it to this square, and then we tap it again to move it to this square, and then we hit the light bulb. And if I hit the arrow, get the idea? Of course, they get a lot more complicated, left, right, jump, etc., etc. And you know what you just did, or you just did with me? We just created a computer program. Forward, forward, jump. And we can repeat that over and over again. So it's learning how to think logically and tell the computer something to do, which is what programming is. Wow. Find a puzzle cage. We did the bird cage, right? So you solved that one. Progressive. I tried to show you, hey, well, wasn't able to show you heyday. I don't think. Let me try it one more time.
Supposed to be over.
Yeah.
Bill, we're just seeing your PowerPoint. We're not seeing the game.
Thank you.
There we go.
So you've inherited a farm. This is one of those progressive games. You kind of grow. Okay. But you see, I have a cornfield there, and somebody planted some grass or some corn or wheat. the way I harvest it is I just cut it. And then I can tap the field and I can plant it with some seeds. Get the idea? And they will grow over time. So you build your farm. You can take your crops and sell them, make some cash, buy some more seeds. You'll buy some chickens, so you can grow your crop. There's a great learning experience in terms of how to do things. I think I told some people my story about my dad. I told my dad I wanted to do a lemonade stand one time. My dad said, fine, here's some lemonade. Here's some containers. You can use the porch outside. Go ahead. And I sold it for like 10 cents a cup. He gave me cups. I said, Dad, I made $3. He said, yeah, but you got to pay me $2 for the lemonade, the cups, and the ice. And there'll be 50 cents rent on the room. I learned a lot about economics that day. All right. I want to spend just a minute, about 5 minutes, on video games themselves. Okay, the big ones. It's a $260 billion industry with a B. It can take 250 to 200 people several years to develop a particular video game.
Wow.
And let me show you some of them. I got to go to a different place. Okay, and I'm not going to read all the text here. There are different types: sandbox, real-time strategy, shooters, multiplayer, role-playing, puzzle. Okay, and let's just take a look at one of these, what they call sandbox games.
Build your own little community. Protect yourself with the strongest armor that you can craft.
Let me start
and fight off.
Here.
Let's go to a place where everything is made of blocks, where the only limit is your imagination. Let's go wherever you want to go. Climb the tallest mountains. Venture down to the darkest caves. Build anything you want. Day or night, rain or shine. Because this is the most significant sandbox you'll ever set foot in. Build a majestic castle. Invent a new machine, or take a ride on a roller coaster. Play with friends. Build your own little community. Protect yourself with the strongest armor that you can craft, and fight off the dangers of the night. No one can tell you what you can or cannot do, with no rules to follow. This adventure, it's up to you.
And it's called Minecraft, and you may hear about that. Great game because it's creativity. It doesn't have a set plan to it. Right? Real-time strategy game. This one is you build your own village. For example, it's called Age of Empire. And they're going out and gathering the sheep here and bringing them back. So all these video games you hear about are not just shoot 'em up, kill people, bloodthirsty kinds of things. Many of them require a lot of ingenuity, creativity, and thinking. We go on. There's the shooter games. First person, that's you being the shooter, first person, or third person shooter. Right, now here's one that most people think about when they think multiplayer game on one battle arena. This is where you, the kids and their adults and their friends get together and can play a game simultaneously over the internet. And so you basically set it up set it up so that each one of these players going around here has certain capabilities. They can improve those capabilities as the game goes, but they're supposed to play as a team and learn each other's strengths as they go. And they have various weapons that do various things. A lot of creativity, right? There's a set of games called role-playing RPG, where you're a particular character. Let me start this one from the beginning. And this is usually done in first person, where you're the person walking around. And he's carrying this big honking gun of some kind. The thing about these is when you see the characters here, they look a little animated, and they're getting better and better so that they don't look that animated any longer. Let me go a little bit ahead here.
Hey there.
Oh boy, you may want to keep your distance.
Why? Are
And I could have this guy looking like Tom Cruise
It's just, well,
in the future. Right? And we have a couple more. Simulation or sport games. Right? This one has race cars. You're controlling the speed, the brakes, and the turning of the automobile with your keyboard or control pad.
Horizon is here to stay.
And last but not least, puzzle and party games.
Lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
Demand to see Life's manager. Make Life rue the day it thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
How's it start out? Oh, yeah. Action and adventure. Right, Star Wars. Everybody remember Star Wars. This one's pretty good. I'm actually gonna follow with it. This looks like Star Wars.
Maybe we can get up there.
I'll skip that one. And performer. I'm not sure how this one. Oh, this is the old style games. If I play that one. I said it was a $260 billion business, and most of them all make money.
Much money.
Let me go buy all this. I just covered all that. And oh, I can't miss this. I have to do this. Hold on. Apple came out with this set of glasses. They call them the Apple Vision Pro. It has twin 4K displays inside the headset, one for each eye. EyeSight uses a front display. So when you're looking out, you don't see outside the goggles, you see what's the cameras want you to see, and there are cameras on the front of the goggles to show you the outside. The headset allows you to control the immersion. You can either be fully immersed or have like a computer you're looking at, and you're looking around the room and the computer is part of the room. There's a whole lot of features here, and I'm trying to get to, I have a video, yes.
$3,400.
Let me get the video up here because it's a wonderful little example. And all it takes is it takes $3,000 plus, and that's it, folks.
Well, that's enough. My goodness.
Okay, and Judy's got her hand up. But hang on just a moment, Judy.
Just a minute.
In the chat, Vinny asked, how large is the gaming community in terms of dollars compared to other industries? And JJ, Dwight Johnson answered that. But before that, Marcia asked, what platform are these games?
I just played all of those on my iPad. So computers, iPads, iPhones, most of them work on all.
Okay, and then Dwight Johnson said, the gaming community is a massive industry generating billions of dollars each year. In 2022, the global gaming market was valued in US dollars at $249.5 billion, and is projected to grow to US 665 plus billion by 2030. This makes the gaming industry larger than the film industry, which was valued at 177 billion in 2022.
That's a good comparison.
And then Marcia also asked, does anyone use the Steam platform? I'd like to know more about that. Some of my family play old-fashioned type board games on it online as they are scattered around. Vinny said Steam is very good. I obtain most of my games from there.
Wait a minute. Could you back up on that? Was that Scheme? SC?
STEAM.
Oh, Steam. What
requires hardware and software.
Okay. So it's a computer box of sorts?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Judy's got her hand up.
If you want to play Dungeons and Dragons and things like that, you play it with Steam. It's a little add-on.
Okay.
It's all computer
Thank
oriented.
you.
I have 5 grandsons. The 3 oldest are gamers. They have all made their own gaming machines. And the youngest one started out as an Xbox person because that's what his dad did. But grandson number 1, when he was 6, I put a nice computer together for him right over there in the dining room and started him off with the Microsoft learning games. He did not know they were learning games. And when the became 6, his brother, he got his set up. God forbid they should share computers. I had to spend $50 for each computer, for each Microsoft game that I bought. And they had a lot of other little minor learning games. But again, that word never left my mouth. They were just playing games and having fun. When the oldest one is a Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Master. He has been for years, and he plays online with people in Europe, etc. And he moved recently with his parents to Thousand Oaks. And the first thing he said was, where can I go in person to play Dungeons and Dragons? And he has an in-person play game, and he makes all of the components on his 3D printer that he learned how to use when he was in the robot team at his high school, and his mother was the class rep for it. And he has his own place in the garage and the printer goes all night long. And then when he gets home from work, he sprays them. And on Sunday, whatever he's made, he gathers up and he takes in and they play in person. And during one semester at Cal State Northridge, he was a salesperson at Best Buy. And I'm hanging out there just to say hi. And this gal that he was talking to and her husband, she said to him, "Do you need to talk to that lady over there?" And he said, "That's just my Grammy. She taught me everything I know about technology." And I thought, oh my God, why couldn't have I had a recorder going, for heaven's sake? He ended up being in construction instead of technology.
Judy, can you play D&D on a computer as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one time he called me and he says, "Grammy, can you come over? I've got all this strange stuff on my computer." And in the background, Steam had downloaded a whole bunch of stuff. And that's when I learned when you go into uninstall, you can uninstall by date. Because I kept looking at things and saying, "Tyler, do you know what this is?" So I did by date and I said, "You know any of these?" And he said, "No, go ahead, Grammy, you can finish uninstalling them. I'll go do something else."
Any other questions? We cover the chat, Huey?
Yes, we did. Wait a minute. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody said, "I enjoyed this, but I have to run." And Pat said, "What's the comparative size application called?" I'm not sure what she means by that.
I'm not either.
What is that comparative size? Oh, the ones with the comparative size from small to large. What was that called? Where you showed the animals?
I'm sorry. I'll tell. Yes, it's called Universal Zoom.
Wow. Carl said, "Wow, I learned that I did not have a clue how sophisticated and advanced online games have advanced. Thank you for an amazing presentation. And Judy, you're perfectly coordinated with your wallpaper. Looks awesome."
And it's not purpose.
By the way, the mean age of the computers is something like 40 years old. So half of the population that plays these sophisticated games is above 40, as well as we all think it's just younger people. It's not.
I discovered that I have the AARP website that I go to every day, and they within the last month have started a crossword puzzle experience where you can either print it out, which I do, or you can play it on there on the screen with compete with other people with it. At least you get points for it.
Yeah.
So you get to do a new crossword puzzle every day.
Yeah, exactly.
My hand's raised again. All my oldest grandson is 26, okay, down to 21. But I used to say to number 2 and 3, they lived within 3 blocks of each other. Number 1 was out playing his games anyway, and I'd say to them, "Why don't you go down to Jack's house? He's got the pool, and you guys can play." And they look at me and say, "We are playing." They're playing games online, and they consider that playing together.
That's the disadvantage of.
Yep.
We're developing a lot of couch potatoes.
Yep.
And they can be habit forming, so you have to be a little careful there.
Well, it's
and not only the young people, but adults as well.
Exactly.
And if they play them on their phones, they have their head like this. And when they stand up straight, they're all 2 inches taller. The 6-foot kid's now 6'2". And I tell them when they get old, like Grammy is, and even before then, their backs are going to kill them. They will be hunched over. They don't care. And even when I'm not here any longer, I'm going to go, "Told you, told you, told you, told you."
We'll see you all again very shortly. Thank you again, Bill. What a fantastic presentation for tonight.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.